So nowadays in panels they are going to ask. So this is the one challenge. How can we optimize the data? So I am saying that
Correct, correct.
this one challenge, na?
I, I understood. So, as part of performance tuning, right? First of all, we have to adapt for our latest technologies. Like, if we talk about the um, Azure ADLS versus Delta Lake. Okay, so whereas earlier without using a Delta table or a lake house architecture, it used to take some extra time to run a job. But now when you use or lake house concept or architecture by using delta tables in Databricks, y- it will take a very lesser time to run the job, and also it will capture all the audit related information when a record got inserted, when a record got deleted or updated. Okay, and also it will maintain some JSON file where we will get all the metadata. If you do the same in a regular or a manual method, you have to write some code and create some manual tables to store this kind of a data in Cloudera or in any other non-cloud based architecture. We generally follow this is a separate jobs will run and do our auditing, but that steps completely removed by using in lakehouse concepts, that is delta table in Databricks. So this is a huge you can say advantage those who are using this Azure Databricks in place of other storage platform. So you can say this also because right, like to maintain a to maintain a history of a data or delta loads, we generally create a multiple jobs to achieve this target. But whereas by using this lake house concept, it automatically capture all these records. I think better I will show one example probably in the next class. Just ping me in our official WhatsApp group. This topic I just want to cover. Is that fine?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Naresh.
With one
So
example,
Naresh,
like
yeah,
sorry, what I am saying is we'll take some sample data set and we'll try to do a or run the job and see the time, and again the same data set we will create a delta tables or lakehouse architecture and then run the job, and we'll see the difference, how much time it reduced, so that we come to know, right? That is also part of performance tuning, is it?
yeah, right.
uh, yeah, you're saying something.
So nowadays, so many questions on cloud service like AWS and GSP. So I think it will be helpful for the interviews about the cloud service also. So, so one of the interviewer asked me, so why we are
What
depending?
exactly you're trying to I'm asking? I'm not getting. Can you please repeat it again? What's your question?
Yeah, Naresh. So why we are depending on cloud services?
Mhm. Okay, you're getting this question?
Yeah, actually, so this question got from one company.
Are you able to see a notepad?
Yeah, yeah, right.
Okay. Why we are depending on cloud services? This is your question, correct?
Yes.
So first of all, you supposed to understand on-prem what is happening, right? On-prem what is happening? Let us say take any project, okay? This you have to answer such a way that uh, you know It's not it's, it should be some practical. Okay, your answer should show them that you have a practical experience. Then only you can able to answer it. Otherwise, theoretical answers may not be sufficient for this kind of a questions. Okay, so for on-prem, let us say Cloudera. Majority people use Cloudera. Agree, right? In the Cloudera, yeah, Hive, all Scoop, everything is inbuilt. Okay? Spark, Hadoop, Hadoop, Uzi. There are multiple services, but just hold on for this. Okay, till this. Now, with Cloudera, we will do many things. Okay, many things. Like, but here, if you want to write something, what I can say, um, we have to, auditing. If I want to do auditing in a sense, do you know auditing? Like, you know, we have to verify the data which we got it correctly or not, right? Okay, and also all the jobs which we scheduled are running on time or not. How many jobs got failed? How many jobs got succeeded? How many jobs are taking too long time? Okay, and if there are any issues, then how we are able to fix it? How much time it is taking? Okay, if there are any changes in our data, that how we are tracking metadata information, right? So these on all comes under not only this, but there are many like file formats and you can say total records, total duplicates records, okay, and unique data. So all these statistics, where you can do it, right? So if you do so, you have to write your own code, right? You may have to use some shell script, okay, shell script or Python script, okay, shell script or Python script uh, to write custom code. I know what I'm explaining. Please bear with me sometime. Okay, you will get the answer. Okay, so this is one, and and I don't know if you already have experience on a Cloudera because I have almost 5 to 6 years experience only on Cloudera. I know the problems. Generally, this Cloudera will be installed on on-prem missions, that is on cluster, especially on edge nodes, to submit and create the applications. Generally, not that much fast. Okay, and the integration of this Cloudera is also a big challenge. And the versions of the Cloudera is also not the latest versions. They will use the old versions, and if you want to do latest, then you have to upgrade it. Okay, and Uzi is only tightly coupled with the Cloudera, all its internal components. Though it is a Cloudera, right? Backend it installed on our cluster. So our cluster maintenance is very hectic. Okay, so cluster maintenance. You mean Hadoop cluster? Okay, cluster maintenance is very tough task. Okay, because if there are any Hadoop admin guy, they knows their challenges because we closely work with the Hadoop admin. They they strive a lot to make the cluster up and run, right? So because there are so much integration problem and scalable, though Hadoop is a scalable, but again it will take some downtime, right? Okay, right, and uh, when a cluster is less or minimum, then it is easy to maintain. But when a cluster is a big, huge, then maintenance is a really tough. Okay, and and if cluster down, then entire team supposed to work on P1 ticket that it till it up. All the projects, jobs will be in a terminated mode. That is a outage, and may sometimes client won't allow us to take a long outage other than upgradation. So if you already worked on these projects, you come to know what I'm saying. Even if you don't know, still fine, but you have to explain some some points out of this. Okay, right? And and you know mm, high availability. Okay. Though they are saying high availability, then to up, when there is an issue, it will take a lot of time to up. That means to add some nodes, to delete some nodes, to repair some corrupted nodes. Definitely, it will involve some human intervention, right? Right. But I can say if the Hadoop cluster is 90% up and running, okay, then but cloud, whereas cloud, did you see any cloud, downtime? Because it always runs, right? As by my knowledge, I didn't see any problem with the cloud. It is available for 99.99%. What my feeling, and with zero maintenance, right? Zero maintenance. Okay, and
And cost
you no need to
effectiveness.
deploy. Yes, yes. Wait. I will come to that. Okay, and human intervention not required. Not required means from our company not required. Okay, human intervention is not required. Not required from a vendor, a client. Maybe AWS, Azure, or a GCP guys will take care internally. That is not our business. Okay. So, and one more thing. I'm not saying that all people completely migrating from Hadoop to cloud. No, the answer is no, because Hadoop is cheaper than the cloud. But at the end of the day, end user who is going to take these services supposed to understand. Let us say I have one company where I don't have much knowledge because I don't want to recruit any people, I don't want to maintain any cluster. Okay. Let me just give you an example. Okay, so I have a small company with some 100 people. For 100 people, I have some 50 developers are there. For 50 developers, I want a 10 node cluster. Okay, 10 node cluster. So to set up a 10 node cluster, initial cost maybe, let's assume 10 lakhs. More than that, just I'm telling. And then maintenance. Okay, maintenance. Maintenance every year, let us say, I have to recruit a people, I have to upgrade the systems, I have to maintenance, I have to do something, right? Or let's say every month, 1 lakh. Not, I think 2 lakhs because I have to give a salary also, right? So this is and upgradation charges. Okay, let us say 1 lakh. And moreover, now there's no guarantee that it will run up 24/7. If there are any issues, then to fix it, it will take some time, right? And I have to monitor explicitly. Let's assume this cost is total cost for 5 years. Let us say around 30 lakhs. Just assume, guys. I'm giving just figures, okay? But if I opt for cloud, cloud, same configuration, okay? 10 node cluster for 5 years. Assume, okay, by 5 years, if it maybe 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs, I don't know exactly. Obviously, if I ask a question to you, you may choose this one because it is 30 lakhs. But try to understand, we don't know how much time it up and running and how much effort you put here. Okay. Right. So, and this is completely hassle free, right? And here I can say, I just for your information, I said here 40, it may be 25 hours, it may be 20 hours. So because here always it will up and run, right? We definitely, you won't shut down the some nodes, right, every hour or 2 hours where there is no load. irrespective of the load, you should run all the 10 nodes. But here, not like that. Whenever I need it, I will just run my application. If it is needs, it will spin up. If it does not needs, then it will spin down. Completely based on the demand, it will use one node, two node, three node, four node, or 10 node up to. Your cost is also calculated accordingly. But here, irrespective of your load, all 10 nodes will work. Lifespan of these nodes also sometimes reduce because of a usage. And this is a bit tough to maintain in our place because we have to give at least 1 to 2 rooms, right? For that, who will bear? And there is no guarantee that the data lasts here, right? We may lose the data if there are any short circuit or a low maintenance or a worst bad maintenance. Who will responsible if we lost our important data? But here in a cloud, they assures us 99.99% we won't lose our data because they not only store in a single region, they will store a multiple region across the world. Minimum 2 copies they will maintain, but you have to pay only for 1 copy. Ashish, you are here.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm
yeah, Naresh, go
explaining
ahead.
only few things. Okay, I'm explaining only few things, but you just correlate why the cloud is. And okay, I want to add one more point. Okay, here I may have to use different things. Or I told you right. If you want to use a scheduler, we have used let us say talent is Redwood or Airflow or any other equivalent control M. There are many. Okay, and for ingestion, you may use talent, scoop, Zoom, Kafka, JDBC or ODBC drivers, JDBC ODBC connection through also you can ingest some data. Okay, so to processing could be SQL, Python, Hive, Spark, and so on. MR, but using MR, but and storage. Generally, I'm saying on-prem. Okay, storage. Majority people are using HDFS or RDBMS, right? So, so we have to use multiple tools to do so. But whereas a cloud, right? Cloud, I can use all the services. I mean, majority of services from Azure only. I'm taking Azure only, guys, because AWS also may be providing these all services and GCP also. But I'm taking an example with Azure. In Azure, right? In Azure, ADLS is there. Okay, ADLS is there to store storage. ADLS is there. Blob is there. Okay. And processing Databricks is there. Or Azure SQL is also inbuilt. And um, workflow workflow orchestration, or we can say ingestion or scheduler, ADF. Okay. So some other tools also there. Synapse is also there. Okay. Here I can use a single Azure service. That means inbuilt. Okay, like if for reporting Power BI, again Azure service, and authentication, security, and authentication uh, means generally we call it as a single sign-on. So Azure Active Directory. You no need to go to outside of the systems. Okay, directly you can use inbuilt and do it whatever you want. So Azure SQL is there, CosmoDB is there, CosmoDB, right? So see here you are depending on many, but here depending on only Azure, and you no need to maintain all these things. It's completely SaaS model or infrastructure as a service or software as a service. Here you have to installation. You have to do an installation. That is a big task. You never do your alone. Definitely you have to take a help from an expert, and you have to bother about upgradations, software upgradations. But here you no need to bother, right? All cloud providers will take care. If you have an account, that's it. And this is a pay as you go model. There is no initial setup, but this is a initial setup. You have to spend money. Guys, agree?
Yes, Naresh. Yeah.
And cloud is more safe than any other, because here you have to implement your own securities. But the cloud platform providers are very much, you know, you know, we can say they are providing a very good security. It's not that much easy to pull the data or push the data into a cloud without any permission. And you don't need to think about any cyber attacks, because there is a strong a setup is already done in a cloud platforms, because these are the market leaders. They have a very huge team who will do all this exercise. And moreover, it is a hassle free, right? You don't need to spend much time on this. You just focus on your work or on your task or projects. Infrastructure related, you no need to bother at all. And you can close your account at any time. And you can create your account at any time. How easy it is. Hope I answered your question, Ashish.
Yeah, yeah, Naresh. No, fine. So I can explain this on premises
You
and
can
on
explain
cloud
this.
service.
That's fine. Okay, there are many other points we can add, but I don't think this, more than this is sufficient. But if you explain 2 to 3 minutes, it's more than enough.
Yeah, okay, fine,
Fine.
fine, Naresh.
What's your next question?
Naresh,
Mhm.
I
Yes,
have been
Ajay.
asked one in question that cache and broadcast. So difference between them. So
Mhm.
I know cache like cache works in memory and a broadcast is like we copy in every executor one copy of the small data set for joining and all. But
Mm.
but this answer was like he didn't satisfy with that, and he was like asking the question that cache, how it is difference between broadcast and cache, how we use it.
Can you please tell me, reframe your question?
Sorry.
Can you please reframe your question?
Yeah, it's like difference between cache and broadcast variable.
Broadcast. Is
Yes,
this
yes, but
okay? Actual meaning of the broadcast in television industry. broadcasting.
Yes, yes.
The same meaning here is also. Okay. So, and cache, you know, right? Cache is kind of a persistence, right?
Yeah, yeah, cache. I know. I said them that in Spark, it's like we use cache for in memory. Whatever the work
Mm-hmm.
we do, it's like I know cache and persistent. So, cache and persistent, it like uh, persistence in we keep the data in disk and memory both. But in cache, it's like in memory. So
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know what is the difference between both of them, cache and broadcast.
Okay. Okay.
So like
Let me give
where we
you.
use cache.
Wait. I will tell you. See, first of all, you have to understand what exactly the cache. Okay. Can you please define what exactly the cache? What you understood? Tell me.
Cache is like just we don't like we have some few data in one part where we always whatever the repeated things are coming that comes from cache. And for if new things we want, that time we need to hit the database, and then from there we get the there from we need to hit the database and we need to get the data. But in cache, it's like it would be fast always.
Let us say you created some RDD from the data. Okay. And then you are doing some transformations. Okay. RDD2 is equal to RDD1 dot E1 transformation 1 and RDD3 equal to RDD2 dot E2 and so on and so on. You did something and fine. Now let's assume this is a T1 is a very costly operation. Operations. Okay, transformations are part of operations. Okay, two types of operations. One is transformation, another one is action. That you know, people. Okay, costly operation is involve a lot of shuffling or a wide transformations. Okay, it's kind of a wide transformation. That means it might consume a lot of resources for a time to complete these steps. Let us say to complete this step, it took 15 minutes in Spark. Okay, and to complete this step, may take a 2 minutes. Assume it. Okay, assume it. And to complete this step, it took 5 minutes. Finally, uh, just assume like this. Okay. Now,
in cache, cache, the intermediate results are being stored for example, joining two oddities, we have two tables. Then we are joining it, and we don't need to call every time, and we can call just the result of it, so that the memory shuffling will be less, right? So that's what I'm trying to say.
that's what I'm trying to explain. That's what I'm trying to
Okay,
explain.
okay.
Okay. Okay. So Sweta, you are here, right?
Yes, Naresh.
All right. Now you understood this flow, and this will happen only. Let us assume this is happening in memory only, But you know the concept called lazy evolution in Spark,
Yes, Naresh, I know it. When we perform any
right?
action to the transformation, then only it works.
Correct.
So that is
Correct.
lazy
Now,
evolution.
if I get this result right, total how many minutes it will take to get a final output? How many minutes it will take?
24 minute. um,
Correct. 24 minutes. Now, let us assume while performing this third creation of RDD3, somehow system got corrupted, or somehow required resources are not available. Okay, by the time it already took 17 minutes. Okay, due to some reason failure of this step, right? So you tell me it got failed at this step. That means initially how much time it taken? 17 minutes, right? Plus,
Yes,
plus,
yes.
plus. Now, you corrected the issue, or the resources are available. What you have to do? You have to rerun it. Correct. If you rerun, let us say that time it is successfully completed. How many minutes it will take? 24 minutes again, right? 24 plus 17. How much?
Uh,
41.
41.
Okay. See, there is no cache involved, but due to, see, I'm not saying this will happen every time, but maybe it will happen. That is the reason cache or persistence came into the picture. Okay, now in this case 45 minutes it took, because it's supposed to take 24 minutes, but due to some reason it took a 41 minutes. It is still acceptable. Okay, but this is a one use case. And coming to cache, in absence of cache, took this much time. Let's assume something like this. Okay, let us assume if you would have already cached this, if you would have
So
already
this
cached this.
this
Yes,
cache would be in driver or executor. Which executor it would be? Like I feel it would be in cache. In executors. These cache.
don't confuse. Okay, don't confuse, just follow, I will tell you. Okay,
Okay.
now in presence of cache, let us say you already cached this step, and then again it failed this third step. Example, just understand. Now you tell me how many minutes it may take. First to
It's
24,
already
sorry.
it's already cached. So it means till 15 minutes is already got over, and it has persisted in cache. So
17
that
minutes
five.
already saved, right? Already.
Yes, yes, these are saved.
Hmm. How much
So
time it may take?
7 minutes more
That's it.
to to process the whole.
That means, let's assume, instead of 17 minutes, it may take 7 minutes. That's it. Or less than that. See, it is only example, guys. What is the use of cache? I'm trying to explain. That means we will save the 17 minutes indirectly. Correct?
Yeah.
If
Yes,
something got
Naresh, but
happen, mhm.
but
Tell
where
me.
this cache thing happened, in executor or driver?
No, why should happen in
Because this
driver? It should be
question
an
was
executor.
asked and I was not
It is
able to.
executor. It is an executor.
Okay, if this process needs two executors, so it means that
Ah,
both executors this cache
correct.
would be remain.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay,
If
fine.
two people are working, you given some work to two people, okay, equally, right? So definitely they will consume the same amount of memory, correct? To store these intermediate results.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So because of this only, he asked me a contrary question, that then why we use broadcast?
Ah, okay. Now, first of all, let me know, is this clear for cache?
Yes, yes, Naresh.
Okay. Now we will discuss a broadcast. Okay. Okay. Broadcast is a terminology. Okay. Broadcast is a terminology. Broadcast will use a cache as a feature. Okay. Now, uh, cache can utilize multiple ways, but this is a one way to recover, to we can say fault tolerance. You heard that sentence, fault tolerance?
Yes, yes,
This is a
yes.
fault tolerance. This is a fault tolerance. We are using a cache to achieve a fault tolerance. And coming to broadcast, there are two data set. Data set one is having 100 GB data. Data set two is having, let us say, 10 MB data. Now I want to perform some operations on these two data set. That means joins or some transformations. Okay. So you tell me, if I start sending this data into executors, or if I send a task to the executors, automatically where this data will be divided into a multiple partitions. You agree? Correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, when you do a transformation, let us say this data is holding some executor, not all executors, but some executors. If our cluster is having, let us say 100 nodes, out of 100 nodes, this data set is available only few nodes. You know, right? How was internally, let us say if we are using a Spark with Hadoop won't store our data in all nodes, right? It will divide into blocks, and 3 blocks only stores. If you put a number is 3,
Yeah.
you agree?
Yes, yes.
So uh, I have to use Paint to give you a better understanding, because mm, let me just Paint. We'll give you an example. So assume our data is there. Mm, some blocks, right? This block is there here and here, and some more, some other. Okay, so same block is also available here. Like that, some blocks are there. So when you send some task here, what will happen? It has to pull this data, right? Let us say there is a code. Okay, there is a code. I sent it. Okay, I sent an application here. It created some container, and these are the executor. It just feels something like this, and this is also one of the executor. This is also one of the executor. Now this, we sent some code to process it, right? Then to process the data, let us say if it process this data, then it is very easy, because this is a, inside the node, it won't take much time, it will process it. But what about if the code is to process this data? This data is supposed to bring here, right? Or we have to launch this executor here only. We don't know, right, where it will launch. Wherever it is available, cluster is available, there the executor will be launched. We have a right to give only numbers of executor, but we don't decide which node is supposed to create. Agree, Sweta?
Yes.
Okay. Now but if it want to process this red colors data, then obviously it's supposed to shuffle, right? Or it is supposed to bring this data here, right? Each node. You agree?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Ah. Now if there is no broadcast, generally Spark will execute something like this. Now my question is, what it will do is, let us say this 10 MB data what we are talking about. Okay, 10 MB data. We'll take another color. This is the 10 MB data. 10 MB data is there. Okay. 10 MB data is there. So I want to process this 10 MB data, because it will join with this green color data with blue color data. That means I have to explicitly broadcast. Let us say when you submit 10 MB data might be here might be here. But unfortunately, whatever executor that we launched doesn't have this 10 MB data. Just assume like that. So this case, what will happen to take this data into these two nodes will take some time. Correct, Sweta? Agree?
Yeah.
Instead, what I will do a broadcast. Okay. I will use broadcast of this data. Okay. Data means this block. Okay. This block. So when I do a broadcast, what will happen? What will happen? It will create a copy here. Taka. It will create this copy here and here and all the executors. Sweta, you understood?
So what? So in the here, you have means wherever the executor was not there, their data was there. 10 MB data was there. Apart
Yes.
from apart from that, everywhere it broadcasts the uh, data.
Yes. You tell me earlier how much memory it took without broadcast, how much memory it took? Uh, let us assume there were two nodes which are carrying this 10 MB data. That means only 20 MB, right? It used
Yeah.
without broadcast 20 MB.
Yeah.
Agree?
Yes. Yes.
So without broadcast, two nodes into 10 MB, how much? 20, right?
Hmm.
20 MB. The problem is it took some time to carry data or shuffle the data to transfer the
Yeah.
data into these executors. Correct?
Yeah.
So now when you do broadcast with the broadcast, sorry guys, it's spelled wrongly. How many nodes here? Total 5, right?
Yeah.
How much data it is total? It is
50
replicating,
MB.
right? It is replicating
Yeah.
unnecessarily.
Hmm.
But what is the advantage with the broadcast? Let us say in this case, without broadcast, it took to complete the process 30 minutes. In this case, it may take 30 minutes due to a shuffle. But here there is no shuffle. It took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So Ashish, it answers your question also. This is one of the performance optimization technique. What is the advantage with the broadcast join is this. It will reduce the job runtime. But what is the disadvantage of broadcast join is it will take or consume extra memory. If your cluster is having enough memory, then you go for a broadcast join. The cluster is neck to neck, and you have to decide the situation based on the situation, guys. Okay, you agree, Ashish and Sweta? Is this clear?
Yes. Yes, Naresh.
Yes, yes. Shuffle is an expensive operation in Spark.
Yes. So you have to decide whether you go with a broadcast join or broadcasting the variables or not. So
Okay.
advantage, disadvantage, both you have to explain.
Yes, Naresh. I got it.
Great. Guys, I will take only one question, last question, because the time is up already. I think this is a very, very important question that you asked me today. Thanks for that. And hope this will helpful for many of you who are going to watch this video. Yeah. So any other questions, guys? Last question from
Yeah, Naresh. I have one. It's like any monitoring tool for checking logs in Hadoop. So, so Uzi is the Uzi from Uzi we get all the workflow and all, and there only we get the logs. So, could it be the answer of that question?
See, Uzi means is a part of Hadoop. That means when you use Hadoop, generally people use a cluster manager yarn, right? So when
Yeah.
you go to a yarn, there you can see all the logs, all the job names, and then you can also see the logs.
So it's like question was any monitoring tool for checking logs in Hadoop. So tool, what tool we could name?
I don't think, because as per my knowledge, we haven't used any external tool to trace it. But maybe some people or some companies are using latest tools. I'm not aware. But general, what we do is we will go to a admin panel. Panel means yarn only. Okay, where we will see
Mhm.
all the logs. Right. That is the standard way of tracking the logs. Okay. You can say
So
this. See, not
yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sweta.
yeah, but in Uzi also we get the logs and we get the problem, whatever it is. So that logs it's
That is
created in
fine.
Yarn
That is
itself, right?
fine. But there is a central monitoring, right? Where you will fetch the data or fetch the record. I can say log through Yarn also.
Okay. So directly
Okay.
we can go to Yarn.
Of course, no. Without Yarn, who is maintaining your cluster?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Uh, so there would be
Woozy
any
level,
command.
I didn't see much Woozy level how to track, but
Yeah.
Yarn level we can track the all the jobs.
Okay, fine.
Okay. See, Uzi, if you may see some issues in a Uzi because of only Uzi related things. At Uzi, ultimately, what it will do, it will trigger the job in Spark cluster, right?
Yeah.
So that will be captured through a yarn. And if there
Hmm.
are Uzi related issue, that is the software issue, then you may find in Uzi only.
Yeah, got it. Yes, yes, Naresh, got it now.